Hello, 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 my little maniacs. This is your host, the Maniacs Gaming, coming back at you with another video. In today's video, we will be doing my picks for week 4, as well as reviewing my picks for week 3, see how well I did, or how well I didn't do. Let's get it. Alright, starting off, we'll go ahead and do the review for week 3. Obviously, I did take the Jets. Then I took the Browns. Then I took Chicago. Then I took Houston. Then I did take the Eagles. And then I did take Pittsburgh. Took Tampa. Then I took Green Bay. And then I took Vegas. Then I did take Seattle. And I did take Detroit. Took Dallas, unfortunately. Then I took the Niners. Then I did take Kansas City. Then I did take Buffalo. And then I took the Bengals. Overall, I didn't do too bad. But could have done a lot better. Could have done a lot worse as well. Anyway, it don't matter. Let's get into week 4 predictions. Starting with Thursday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys, who just lost after trying to complete a comeback against the Ravens, just not being able to stop Lamar. And then the Giants, who somehow upset the Cleveland Browns because their defense decided to be better. And Malik Neighbors looking like rookie OBJ out here. I think this is not actually going to be a really good game. Because again, I like Dallas' defense a lot better than I like New York's. So I am going to go ahead and take Dallas. I think Dallas is just the better team there. It is what it is. And then next up, Jags at Houston. Jags getting destroyed by the Bills. Like, nothing even positive to say about that game. And then Houston getting destroyed by the Vikings. But when it comes down to it, Houston's 2-1. They've actually been able to win this season. Jacksonville has not had a single win this season. Gotta go Houston to get the win here. Then next up, we got the Saints at Atlanta. The Saints losing a nail biter to Philly, and the Falcons losing a nail biter to the Chiefs that maybe should have been called for pass interference. Who knows? Tie. Anyway, moving on. I'm kidding. Atlanta. New Orleans has a lot of injuries right now. Ruiz is injured. McCoy's injured. Alvin Kamara's injured. They've got a lot of injuries piling up. The Falcons also have injuries piling up. I believe they put their starting center on injured reserve. It's either center or their right tackle. One of the two is on injured reserve. So obviously this could very much change. But I gotta take Atlanta. I just think Atlanta's gonna be the better team next week because I've liked how Kirk's playing lately. Derek Carr fell off a little bit of a cliff last week, so he's going to need to bounce back a little bit. Bengals going to Carolina. Andy Dalton back at starting QB for the Panthers. Cincinnati losing a shootout to the Commanders in what many have deemed the perfect game of football with 0 turnovers and 0 punts. And the Carolinas named Andy Dalton the starting QB and have now gotten a win against the Raiders. I can't do it. Andy Dalton has the chance to do the funniest thing, but I can't believe the Bengals will go 0-4. I just can't. Like, I feel like this is gonna be where they get their win. Like, the team rallied around Andy Dalton to get him a win last week, but I gotta have faith in Cincy to actually bounce back. Like, this could be the funniest thing in the world, though. I would not be surprised at all for the Panthers to win, but I just think this would be the funniest thing in the world. All right, next up, we got Matt Stafford with his Walmart employees at wide receiver going against Chicago with their elite wide receiving core. The Rams beat the Niners last week somehow, even though some of the Niners are also injured apparently that I didn't realize. And then the Bears losing a heartbreak to the Colts. I've had faith in the Bears, but I'm taking the Rams. I don't know what it is, but I've liked how they played last week. And honestly, other than that one week against the Cardinals, I think they played some solid football. And I just, with the Bears, Caleb Williams looked great last week, but that defense, man, that defense did not look at all great. Like, this could be a game where Chicago wins, but I'm going to take the Rams. All right, next up, we got Minnesota. The undefeated Sam Darnold-led Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers with Malik Willis or Jordan Love. One of the two could play. But I've loved how Green Bay's playing. They obviously beat the Titans last week. They absolutely destroyed them. Forcing a couple of interceptions, forcing some fumbles, getting a pick six for Jair, his first career interception. And then the Minnesota Vikings beating up Houston. Obviously, my head says Minnesota, but my heart says Green Bay. I just think this would be the funniest thing in the world for Green Bay to upset them. Give me Green Bay in a nail biter, though. Pittsburgh at the Colts. Pittsburgh getting a dominant win over the previously undefeated Chargers, and the Chargers got a little bit banged up in that game. Justin Fields showing he could be a safe starter. And then Colts beating up on the Bears with Anthony Richardson making some good throws and not so good throws. I think I've just got to take the experience here. Going Pittsburgh to get the dub. I've loved how they're playing. Mike Tomlin is going to force this team to go above 500 somehow. I think he's going to keep it moving with a win against the Colts here. Denver Broncos, who are coming off a win against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, headed to the Jets to take on Aaron Rodgers. Who they got a dominant win on Thursday Night Football against the Patriots. They're a little bit more rested than the Broncos, especially when the Broncos just start one of their starting defensive players to an ACL injury. Hope he's going to be okay, though. But I got to take the Jets here. I just have to. Like, they've been playing really good football lately. I don't see that ended anytime soon. Eagles at Tampa. Eagles coming off a dominant win against Saints. I'm kidding. It wasn't actually that dominant. It was a real nail biter, and both QBs looked absolute garbage. Dallas Goedert looked good, though. And the Tampa Bay coming off a absolute demolishing performance against the Broncos, where they got absolutely crushed. Yeah, I'm depressed about that. Now Tampa's got 14 of 22 starters currently on the injury report. We love to see it. We don't love to see it. Meanwhile, Philly's got A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Lane Johnson. They got most of their off. They got a lot of people on that injury report as well. But we already know who I'm picking here. We already know. Like, I'm biased. I am biased. I'll admit it. But honestly, I can see Tampa winning. Eagles outside. Like, Eagles just have not looked the greatest. They just have not looked the greatest. Tampa beat the Commanders solidly on the road. They went and upset Detroit. And then they did lose to Bo Nix's Broncos. But it's one of those things like, the Eagles did not look good against the Packers. And then they lost week 2. Who did they even play week 2? I don't know. But Eagles just have not looked really. Oh, they played the Falcons. They lost in extraordinary fashion. Come on. I just can't pick them. Obviously, because I'm biased. Alright. Next up, Washington at Arizona. Washington coming off a big win over the Bengals on primetime Monday Night Football, where they absolutely demolished the Bengals offensively. Defensively, they couldn't get a stop. But hey, Jane Daniels looks great. And the Cardinals, they lost last week to the Lions. I got to ride with the hot hand here. Jayden Daniels going to get his third win as an NFL starting quarterback. He's looked so good. He's looked good. I like what they're doing there. I think this is going to be a lot closer than this score says. I've loved what Arizona's doing over there, but a lot of their offense seems to just be relying on Marvin Harrison Jr., so they just need to balance it out a little bit more. Patriots, after their loss to the Jets, is going to San Francisco to play the Niners. Niners lost to the Vikings last week. They're going to be upset. They're going to win this game. Honestly, that feels like a more accurate score line. Like, they just have not looked good at all. Like, the Patriots just... Drake May's probably going to be starting soon. Next up, Kansas City headed to LA to take on the Chargers. Kansas City 3-0, undefeated. Beat the Falcons. Thanks for that. And then LA lost last week to the Steelers, but lost a lot of pieces. Herbert, Bosa, and then Derwin James has been suspended. He will not be playing this game. So I just can't take LA here. I gotta take Kansas City. They're just hot. They haven't been playing good football, but their team's set to win more than LA's to win. They're just losing too many pieces. Then we got the Browns, who lost to the Giants, headed to Vegas, take on the Raiders, who just lost to the Panthers. Poncho, listen, I know I already told you this, but like, yeah. Poncho in the comments, no! Death! Why? Why must you do me like this? But I have to. Like, I like Minshew and I like AOC better than Deshaun. I don't have faith in Deshaun to make the good throws that he needs to make to win this game. Bills at the Ravens. Bills 3-0 just beat the absolute ever-living crap out of the Jags, and the Ravens getting a solid win against the Cowboys, who have not looked good. Lamar's doing Lamar things. Derrick Henry's doing Derrick Henry things, but Josh Allen is looking like the MVP frontrunner by a landslide, and I think he's going to continue this. I think he is going to get another win here, and I take Buffalo to 4-0. I just think it's going to be a dominant performance here. We're gonna give Buffalo more points just because we can. Tennessee headed to Miami. Thought it was the other way around. Tennessee taking on the Dolphins. Yeah. The Titans lost last week to the Jordan Loveless Packers, and then Miami lost to the Seahawks when they didn't have Tua. This legitimately could be a tie. But I'm going to take the team that actually has a potential starting quarterback. This could age so poorly. This could age so poorly. But I'm going to take the Titans. I don't have faith in that Dolphins offense without Tua. And like the Titans have shown they can at least put up points. So I think the Titans are going to get their first win here. That's a really bold take. All right, Seahawks at Detroit. I thought it was Detroit at Seattle. Man, does this just not have the correct ones? I mean, it says that it is. But whatever. Seahawks coming off a dominant win last week over... Who did they play? Oh, yeah, the Dolphins. Absolute blowout. And then Detroit winning a nail-biter against the Cardinals. I like both these teams. I really do. Seattle's been outperforming how I thought they were going to be doing. And then the Lions, obviously, are the Lions. They're always going to be competitive. This is going to be a really good game. Like, Detroit and Seattle always play each other very hard. I'm going to take Detroit since it is in Detroit. I just really think that they're going to do something here just to be able to get that momentum early and be able to cash in on it and just get an upset win here. If you even call it an upset, since the Seahawks are undefeated. But honestly, like, this score's not even close. We'll go 35-40. Like, that feels like a good score line. But anyway, just real quick, we'll just scroll through these just so everyone can see my picks again. And this way, when I go back to update my picks, I can just quickly look here at the end. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for me today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on that noti bell on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Trying to hit that by the end of the year. Trying to hit 1600 by the end of next month. Let's get it, fam. And as always, I will see all you guys later. Stay crazy, fam.